Hello and welcome back. Callan Florentine Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, once again coming at you with a deck profile. This is going to be the GOAT Control deck from the UDE Seal of Orichalcos 2005 Duel the Master side event that I did with my the duel that I did with my buddy Mike last time I uploaded. Just getting another video out there to keep the juices flowing. I did hit the big 1,000 subs recently. I am aware of it. Thank you all. We do have something planned for it, but with things the way they are between Mike and I, it's going to take a little bit more time with getting it all together. So, a little something in the meantime. This is the GOAT Control deck. Well, I guess it's more Go aggro when you have three of the most powerful spells in the entire game ever made. This is the list that the UDE rep used in one of the 2005 Duel the Master side events at Nationals, featuring the Upper Deck Entertainment exclusive version of the Seal of Orichalcos. So here we go. One Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. One of the holdovers from the old Chaos format prior. Still very powerful. Still very strong. This thing's a game ender by itself in most cases. But when you back this guy up with a spell speed 4 negate, it just gets really crazy. We're also playing the one Jinzo. This deck is much more aggressive than a standard GOAT Control deck. Yeah, let's see, and just think of this deck at like the best of times. Every monster in this deck has a 500 buff to their attack, like at most times. So Jinzo becomes 29, disables all traps. Pretty powerful. Asura Priest to knock out weak monsters and GOAT tokens is very good. She can get over even more things with an additional 500 attack. And he also decided to play two Blade Knights, again going toward an aggressive playstyle. So with this thing's effect and the seal, he can get pretty big actually. 25 on a level 4 is insane. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer to stop other Chaos plays. Manipulating your opponent's graveyard is always handy. He's going to get more damage in than usual, again, because of the 500 buff from Orichalcos. And because we are running 3 copies of the best spell ever made, we want to run Triple Faith, get back those seals, and not to mention he's also running the usual GOAT cards like Grace, Pot, and Duo are also in this deck. So Triple Faith, even though it is a big knock target, is still really needed. He also played Double Tsukiyomi, one of those good. It's good for removing things because you can flip Restrict face down, a lot of things face down and just knock it, or whatever else. If you need to get a global effect off the board off a monster. There's a lot of things this card can do, and it can even set stuff face down and then run it over with 1600 with Orichalcos. One Sangan, he was limited to 1, so I'm surprised this guy actually followed the ban list at the time. Aside from the 3 seals, which is really cool. We also got Breaker for backer removal, 19. He's 2400 with his counter at most times, which is great. And then Serpent and Tribe and Warrior Lady for other removal cards. That's all the monsters the UDE rep played. Now we are on to the 3 Seal of Orichalcos. So this particular version, it's the version I use in my main deck. This thing is a spell speed 4 Omni Negate hand trap that you can use whenever at like super poly speed. Actually, I think it's better than super poly speed because this can respond to counter traps even though it's a spell. Can't be negated while it's out as a field spell. Global 500 buff to your side of the field, and you can use your spell and trap card zones They can also be used for monster cards. Monsters in your back row cannot be attacked while there is a monster in the front row. So even without like the other show stuff, having a big monster out while just setting and flipping faiths at will in your back row is actually really strong. And because in this side event, only the UDE rep would have access to this card. None of the challengers would have access to this card. So when you're going up against other standard GOAT decks, that 500 buff on your side of the field is way more important than you might think. The stat lines really do matter in this old format. I'm beginning to tell the more I play with this version of the deck. And he also played triple terraforming. It was at 3 at the time. Grab Seal of Orichalcos as a field spell. He played 2 scapegoats and 1 metamorphosis. Had to make some cuts to add the field spell support in, of course. Still really good combination of cards. Free restrict. I'll go into the extra deck later. You probably already, but go. People who play Go already know the rest of these cards. The Trinity of Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. Not only do we have a spell speed for Omni Negate, but we also have 2 of the best draw cards ever made and one of the best hand control cards ever made and available in the deck as well. Premature Burial. Monster Reborn was banned, so he had to use this. And then Snatch Steal is also really good. Mystical Space Typhoon and Heavy Storm are your back row destruction along with Breaker. And the Seal of Orichalcos could also negate spells as a hand trap. Monster removal, we have one Smashing Ground and 1 Knock. I'm surprised with he didn't run Book, but he did run 2 Tsukiyomis. So I guess he wanted to just cover all the bases, like face up monster destruction and face down monster destruction. I don't know I'm trying to get a grip of what the UDE reps mindset was when he built this. Creature swap is good. Give them when you give them a sheep token, you take their, and then they give you a good monster. Hopefully, you just gotta know the right time to play this card. A little bit of stall control with Swords or Revealing Light. Just stop them from attacking for 3 turns, as if hiding your weak monsters in the back row wasn't enough. And then for traps, he just plays the 1 of each of the 4 most powerful limited traps that were available at the time. Call the Haunted, Revives a Monster. Ring of Destruction before the errata was insanely powerful. And then Mirror Force and Torrential Tribute are just very good board wipes that were limited to 1. And then aside from the 40-card main deck, we also have the extra deck. Now, on his forum post, he did not include the fusion monsters that he used, but being a higher-up upper deck rep at the time, I'm assuming he would just have access to pretty much anything he needed. So we have the 3 restrict, and then level 3s, and then level 4s. These are the only 4s I own. This is just not everything, but just what I happen to own. 5s, Reaper on the Nightmare is good, and then other 5s we got these guys. Guiltia, Kaminari, Deep Sea Shark. Some of the stronger 5s are Fiend Skull Dragon and Dark Balter the Terrible. So that's all there are a lot of 5s. For things like Air Knight, if you get it off of Snatch Steal. 6s, we have Ojama King and 3 Ryu Senshi, as well as Rabid Horseman, Empress Judge, Sandwich, just vanillas that I happen to own that could fit. Dark Flare Knight, Dark Blade the Dragon Knight. Dark Blade Dragon Knight has a pretty cool effect. 7s, you never go into 7s because there just weren't that many running around in an actual GOAT format, but we have them. just in case something comes up. And then the one level 8 we run is Gatling Dragon, just in case we have to tribute a BLS for some reason with the one Metamorphosis. So that is the UDE Orichalcos Go Control deck that was used way back in the day and inspired a whole bunch of Orichalcos nonsense later. Just, you know, it's really cool to look back into the history of the challenge that this channel has built its foundation upon. It was a lot of fun with my friend, shout out to my friend Crimson, who helped me with a lot of the research regarding the UDE exclusive cards and their events. There's actually something else. There was actually another UDE exclusive card I'm probably going to make another video on. But that'll be for another story. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for the big 1K, everybody. We definitely got something we're trying to get something together to celebrate the big 1,000. And until then, I guess, see you in the next one. Goodbye.